Okay, I'm over in an area that I'm going to put a little pond in over here eventually. And I got to see which trees I'm going to take out. And these are dead trees, which is a real pain in the butt. So Elon's over there. I think I'll bring Elon around and come up through this way here. And this tree is long since dead here. This one's dead. That one's dead. And it has got some, oh boy, this one's pretty wobbly here too. I've got some of the dead stumps here I've got to take out. This one's dead, and that one's dead. And that maple's a little messed up there. So let's see what I can get knocked over, since the root balls are probably, there are vines all the way up in there. Making it look live, but it's just a vine. I've got all these other timbers I took down before. Yeah. And I think that one's close to dead. Not quite completely dead, but several more of these ash trees that are dead. And I really haven't done much work in here with Elon. Bumblebee did a lot of the work in here because it was much smaller and I could maneuver in between the various trees. So let's see what we can do without doing any damage to the glassworks or any of the equipment here. Always have a plan of attack. I did come over and clean 90% of the mud jam-packed in the tracks here. And it's still too wet to work down there. So, and I've got the camera on my neck, so we'll see if I ever post this or anything about it. Someday I'm going to have to come in here and trim some of these lower branches of the trees down so they don't get tied up in the hydraulics or the electronics on the boom or the stick. One thing that was really nice about Bumblebee, the old excavator, the smaller excavator, is that the boom and stick were right dead center in front of you. Yes, it did obscure some of your view, but you can actually see on the right side a little bit better. Now I can see directly in front of me, just dandy. And I think that I'm going to try and squeeze up in here first. Get the one that's furthest up in here. Usually we don't have any mosquitoes around here, but we do have a couple around here now. Things are going to be tight. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to get to the far one right off the bat. This is where things get ticklish with the tops of these things if I move too quickly. maybe it'll take both of them down. Can't really swing around here because on my sides. Just like those other ones. That's all vines on this one. And I think what I'll do is just tweak this to the side for a second. Few roots that are still there. And push this right up against there. I'm going to back up a smidgen. We've got a wild black cherry right there alongside of the, maybe not, I think. Now this one's decomposing way up there. You can see the bark is off. I'm just going to grab this little one here and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach around behind it here, push it away. So I got teeth behind it, get two teeth on the other side of it. Don't know if you can see this. I wonder if this camera's even working well. Now I've got enough force against there. I should be able to pull that root right out. Nice and dandy. Shake it a little bit. Can't really twist too much in here. Kind of a tight spot. We just set that down there. And this thing here, please don't fall over on me here. Some of the top down, but it's holding together. There we go. Nice. You can see all of the side roots are completely decomposed and just break right off because they're partially decomposed there. These are the things we just got to always be very careful in here. Right, so I'm going to put my backup camera on now. I'm in pretty good shape here. Yep, I'm going to hit that with my mirror. See how tight I am here. With that maple right up against there. So go ahead a little bit here. Adjust my positioning. Okay, I can clear. Now I can clear the mirror. This ash tree is going to catch on a couple of trees here. Get out and take a look here. So this is a dead one here too. That's the one I want to take down, completely dead up there. But you see it's going to catch on that maple. So that's going to hold it back. And I can see a place where it's partially broken where it's split before. This is a ticklish one. But we got a little bit of room. A little bit easier with smaller machines. But the big machine takes it down pretty easy. Nice slow and steady push force. Let me see if I got swing room here. I do. Now there'll be times that I use the back of the bucket against the tree, and I don't know how well you can see there, but the cylinders and the hoses can get caught up against the other tree as I'm moving, because this boom, this part here, is wider than the stick up there. Not sure you can see this, but okay, so we're going to go ahead and just touch it gently. I'm going to push against it just so gently. Don't fall down yet. I'm going to try and twist it some. Try to get it to go to the side on top of the other ones. Yep, there goes some of the top. Jesus. Alright. Okay. That turned out okay. That snapped off just where I saw it was split up there. So now I can't go over too far because I'm going to run into this maple, and I don't want to do any removing of the bark on the maple. So I'm just going to tease off some of the soil around this dead ash tree here, and you can see just how easy it's popping up there. That's better. Good. Pull off a little of the soil. Again, I don't know what the camera sees. Let's pull off a little of the soil from this. So I did walk out and in the first food forest, and again, not only am I paying attention, I'm sorry I break up my conversation, not only am I paying attention here, the back of the equipment swings every time I turn the front this way, swings that way, so I'm watching how close I am to the trees, and I've got a good 4 inches, so I'm okay there, but it's always keeping an eye on just where your body is. The body of the equipment. So as I started to say, I walked out and see that the swarm is still in the peach tree. No big swings when we're doing this. Everything's very slow and purposeful. We don't want to hurt any pieces of equipment here. Okay. Now I make sure my equipment, the slew, the ability to swing back and forth with the excavator, is parallel with the tracks. Then I can check my mirrors and I can see. I probably should go ahead a little bit here. Everything's nice and tight in here, by God. As you can see, I'm watching in the mirror here just where everything is. And when I'm doing this, I'm thinking about, well, that big ash there, anything that bumps into that top's going to fall and it's going to crush something. And at 50 bucks a mirror, every time I turn around I got to change those mirrors. Now should I take out, is there enough room for me to grab a hold of that broken off stump there? Just barely. There's not much to that little stump. Decomposing, just grab a hold of those roots there gently. Okay, bring the body of the excavator back parallel with the tracks. Just get it nice and parallel. Now do I want to grab that other stump right there? I do have a, is that maple alive? Gotta look and see. Okay, it is alive. So this one's alive and this one's alive. This one's a little bit too tight in here. And I think, yeah, I'm not going to think about that maple right now. I'm trying to, there's a little bit of life in this one. So this ash tree has some life in it up there. It isn't just poison ivy. This one's completely dead. See if we can see this one here. And all the time there's these things, these branches that come down and stick in the ground. And I don't want to be over here working on little mini me. What do we have here? So there's a little bit of life in this one actually. And we've got a little elm up next to that dead ash there. So as I turn the slew, the cab of the tractor, of the excavator around to make the bucket go to the left, that whole rear end swings this way, and we don't need any more dents. This was from one of the trees that came down and took out this mirror. I just got to find my mirror. I bought one, but I got to find it. So the question is where, how to take this one down here. This one's completely dead, this ash tree here. And it's tall enough, I'm gonna hit everything around here. That ash tree is still alive. There goes a branch down over there. You can see these are some of the ones that I chopped up with the brush mower. Man, I hate to get tight in there. Oh, and that ash is completely dead too. Just poison ivy up in there. So, no, if I push it this way, I'll get hung up in these maples. Don't want that. But that ash tree I can see now needs to come out too. So do I push it this way, risk hurting this maple, but maybe topping this ash here? Jeez, is that maple dead there? Yeah. I don't know what happened. This maple right here is dead. Poison ivy's still good on it. And this isn't one that I did any rub to. Oh, I can see a little bit of rub down there. Okay. Alright, I gotta decide my approach. Oh, and I gotta take out this ash right here too. That one's dead. So I think I'll do that one first. I'll come down here, maneuver around in here, come down here, and push this one there. So that's taken care of. Then I got this maple and that ash to deal with. And possibly this ash. But once this maple's out of here, we'll see what our fall line is going to look like. So this is what I go through when I'm in the woods, just trying to reduce the chances of damaging myself and or the equipment. All right, so now pull up in here some. I think I can tweak my way down here and avoid hitting any trees. And I don't necessarily want to take down every dead tree, but in areas that I'm going to be working that they're a potential hazard, I do want to take them down. I want to tweak my positioning here a little bit more. I want zero chance or minimal chance of anything that I'm taking down to bump into anything that's dead and knock the top off and come crashing down on me. Okay, so here we are. So go ahead, get my teeth centered here. So ever so gently. Oh, it's snapping now. No, 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 go that way. Okay, good. All right, that worked out. When they're dead, the root balls come out so well. I can clean up the amount of dirt around here. What is behind that? There's a maple behind that ash tree. Right behind that ash tree there. It looks like, boy, I could set it down there, but there's actually a maple right behind that. All right. I've forgotten the approach that I wanted to get for the ash and for the maple. Well, the maple is directly behind me here. And I think I'm going to want to push it right down over there. So let's deal with that one first. Now maples have a wider base. The roots go out pretty darn lateral. Ash has both lateral and roots that go down straight down into the earth. All right, so we'll just turn the camera off for a second here. I'm running this under very low RPMs, which I shouldn't for long periods of time. But when I'm digging or something like that, I pay attention to what you're doing here, Kevin. fix that root ball now. So I'm going to actually change my positioning here some. I'm going to try not to have any of this hit into that beautiful large maple there. So this looks like about the best approach here. So what I will do is this may be a mistake, but I'm going to remove a little bit of soil from down here. I'm watching the upper part of the trunk of the tree as I'm doing this. And the reason is, if I see it starting to wobble, I'll stop doing this and just use the push action. That did a little wobble right then. Yeah, as I exposed that one root. So this will help disrupt the connection between the roots on this side of the tree. This is a 3-foot wide bucket. And I don't want to do any more because I've got the other tree there that's already been bruised a little bit. So I'm going to go up a little bit higher. Put the tooth on. Oops. Easy, easy, easy. She wants to go in that direction. Lift up the blade a little bit. Right there is where I want her. Okay, now we'll gently push her down. Here some. Good. That worked out nice. Okay, remove a little bit of the soil from here. Doing this, sometimes you gotta be real careful. You can snap a root off, or a rock can come flying right at the cab and take out the big glass windshield in front of me here. So really paying close attention. I'm not moving too fast. Nice and steady. Soil in the hole here. Raise this up some and do a drop. Knock some more of that soil off. Excavator to do work like this makes life so much easier. And it's a shame that we lose these trees. I'm not sure why I lost this tree. There wasn't enough damage to it that I would think to the cambium layer. That's the circulatory system of the tree. Again, whenever I'm going backwards, I'm really checking that rear view mirror when I'm in dense areas. Always keep an eye on the top of the stick so I don't scalp this tree any more than it's been. Those scalp marks were all made by me when this forested area here was much thicker a few years ago, and the trees came down and they're all piled all over here. I made a video about that about 3 years ago. The stacked pile of trees that came down in that storm. Okay, let me get out and take a look again. It's probably a very boring video. cherries can really hang on for a long time. And that maple leaves are crossing over it. And I really should take out this stump right here that I chopped off with the brush mower. I think I will come back up here. There's a little bit of life in this cherry, so I'm going to leave it. Of course, that's the dead ash there. And here's another stump that I ground off here. It's still viable here. So I got these two stumps here I should take out. And then should I position myself to try and take this big bugger down? It's kind of a mess in here. It's kind of congested. Oh my God, is this maple split? No, but this is a scar from another tree that had come down at some point and ripped the side of that, and it's trying to heal, but I don't know that it will heal. All right. All right, so I'll turn the machine around again. Come up and take out those two little stubbies. And then see, boy, this is tight up in here. There's another little stubby right here. But this is a nice big root that goes to this ash tree here. This is the one that's dead, is it? Yeah, that one's completely dead. And that's the dangerous one. All those top branches, it's been dead for so long. Even the woodpeckers aren't even bothering with it anymore. That top can really come down. All right. I may end up having to take that cherry out. It's in rough shape. Well, let's turn around and not overdo it too much here. This whole area looks pretty good. No stumps that I can see that have to be dealt with. And I never want to leave this piece of equipment in the forest. I'm getting close to this one here. Let me let's curl this up. Turn this around some. See that one little stump right now. Always want to be mindful of just where all the roots to these trees, they all intertwine. That can make them a bear to get out when you have to get them out. If I can find that other bugger up here. Okay, I think I see two. Is this one right here? Now these are long since dead when they come out this easy. It's the beauty of having Mini-Me to come in here and pick up so much of this. So I got the other part of this root right here. And then I got this other one there. There's two of them right next to each other. There we go. And I'm doing a maximum swing here, so I don't, I'm minimizing the amount of swing that I'm doing because I'm aware of my maximum swing before I smash into and do some damage here. Here and don't bump into that dead ash tree right there. Rolling over all these stumps and things here. Is this where I wanted to back up into? I think so. So I gotta be careful of that maple. Assess. It's one thing when you got a spotter that can help you see where you are. Of course, I put those little stump pieces right where I got to get up in here. They're heavy and that hurt. Okay. Try to always have 3 points of contact when you're getting in or getting out of a piece of equipment. Make sure your seat's all set. I got my little portable lumbar support here that does help a lot. So I just verified I can go straight back some. That's good. Actually, I'm going to pull ahead a little bit. And I'm just going to gently, ever so carefully. Now see the trunk, the diameter of this trunk at this height, I can't see much of a wiggle here, but at the top it could wiggle a lot. So I got to be really... So now, instead of me looking at the trunk, I'm feeling with the bucket, do I get resistance? If I get resistance, I'm transferring that energy up the trunk, and the dead top part can easily become dislodged. You see how easy these roots here are breaking away. Don't get aggressive when you're doing this. When this thing can come down on top of you. And you can think everything's fine and dandy and that sucker can come down. I really should be wearing safety glasses when I'm doing this. Good good sized root there. I want to be real careful. I don't want to pull that too much because I can transfer that energy right up the trunk. And when the top comes down, I won't know it until it's too late, unfortunately. So I'm just removing the bulk of the soil that will help to keep the tree from going where I want it to go. Very, very gently. Gotta get that little maple a little bit out of the way. It's obstructing my view. And it just dawned on me, I'm not sure if you can see very much as I'm yammering away here. Just want to tease away a little bit up in here. Don't get too greedy. I got to be real careful too. I don't want to be disrupting the roots from these maples that are right around this, which I am, some of the small ones, there's no doubt about it. Pick up the blade a little bit, come backwards a few inches, set it down. See hopefully where I want the tree to go between those two maples between the maple and I'm not sure what that other tree is right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and just get just so far. I don't want to go up too high, get between the two teeth there. It's going to start hitting some of those top branches up there now. Stop here, I'm going to raise my blade, keeping an eye on the top of this, and gently see if I can make it go where I want it to go. Oh, she's going to hit that maple. Oh. Well, you can see where the top came right off over there, but fortunately it came off over there. It'd be really interesting to see what my pulse rate and my blood pressure are when I'm doing these things. It's the first video that I made 2 years ago with this piece of equipment, down and back when I was going down to take down a dead tree. I didn't even touch the dead tree. I touched the dead top that was leaning up against the dead tree, and the top of that top fell against the tree, and that tree fell right over on top of us. About 2 years ago. Okay, let's put our blade down here. It does feel good. We've had so much rain lately. It feels very good getting out and being outside, even if I'm in a piece of equipment. I've been working on the darn books so many hours a day lately. giving up its soil so easily. It's been dead for at least a year. I mean, completely dead for at least a year. The trees actually die in stages. So that's the taproot right by the, I don't know if you can see this. There's like, this one has like 2 taproots right there. I'm just snap one off, and that's just all decomposed. Got enough soil off there, I think. Again, when I'm moving over here close to the tree, I'm watching my hydraulic cylinders up there next to the that beautiful maple, right within an inch from it now. This sure beats using a rake, I'll tell you. Now this is not nearly as compacted as we want it to be, but we want to fill in the hole, pack it down a little bit. Now if I had a wide open area here, I'd be running the tracks of this equipment over it right now. Up here. Just getting so close, I can't get on the other side of it because I'll damage the stick here. Take another look. So it's snapped off right over there, and this is stuck right in the ground. Only went in a few inches, but that's pretty hard ground here, hard gravel. And go right through one of the windows in the excavator. All right. I don't have my watch anymore. broken. Oh, it's not good. That ash tree there. That ash tree is completely dead. The one behind Elon here. And I think what I will do is I'll stop taking down any more trees now. These got to be cut up. And I need to come in and pick up all this material, the root balls, get a lot of these things up and out of here, pull them out with mini-me. Even some of these logs I'll be able to pull out. Most of the logs will end up going into culture pits, but some of them I can burn up. Like this one here, still got some good solid wood, some good firewood in that. And one other one, probably the maple, probably has good firewood in it. Not that one, but maybe the one over there has some. So, man, I really want to get that other dead ash tree down, but I think I need to clear things up. I don't know, maybe the best way is to drop it in that direction, but I've got to do some work cleaning up before I can even think about doing that. Take out a few more of these stumps. So I think that covers it for today's video. If I do post this, if you found this interesting or entertaining or informative, I appreciate your comments and your thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching, and have a super fantastic and safe day. Safe days are the best days. Take care now. Bye-bye.